Hey everyone, what's going on? Greg here again from Team Blast. I'm in Local Falcon, and this video is to go over why your competitor is outranking you on Google Maps. So I'm going to use TM Blast as the example. In a 5 mile radius 13 by 13 grid, I'm the number 2 listing. I have a 76% of the time I'm on page 1 of Google. Saratoga Digital Marketing has the 89%. So I'm going to kind of explain why they're outranking me and then also why I'm outranking the competition. So let's just start off with the most obvious reason. Saratoga Digital Marketing has a better ranking than me for two reasons. One, they're directly in downtown Saratoga Springs, so obviously they're going to rank very well there compared to where my map is. You can see they own the top right, and I'm basically off page 1 in Saratoga because I moved my business. Boston Spa is about, I don't know, 3 miles away or something like that from downtown, or it could be somewhere in that range. So I'm not that far, but proximity to search is very critical. So if you have a local business, like if you're an HVAC or a plumber, unless you're trying to go after, I don't know, Baltimore has the main, search, and you're outside of the city, downtown, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you to go after that particular part of the metro. The second part is their name, Saratoga Digital Marketing. They put the name Saratoga directly into their name, and obviously digital marketing. That's the name of their business, obviously. So if I go to their profile, you'll see it says Saratoga Digital Marketing. That's the name of their website. So they have a lot of benefit. They have the benefit factor of the name Saratoga Digital Marketing, all within their name, and that's actually why they're able to show that directly in their Google business profile. All right, another thing that they're outranking me for is the hours. Their hours are 9 to 5. And if I go to TM Blast over here, my hours are actually 9 to 4. So they work a little bit longer than me. Hours do matter. So it's 3:38 p.m. Eastern time as I'm recording this video. It wouldn't surprise me that directly at 4 o'clock, if I ran the same scan, you would see my rankings completely drop. Theirs would probably improve, and so would others as well. Okay, so we talked about basically why Saratoga Digital Marketing is ranking better. You can see that I have more reviews. They have 10, I have 35. That's why sometimes I think there's this misconception when it comes to number of reviews versus, someone might say I have 5 times as many reviews as my competitor. How come I'm not outranking them? I explained this. The name, the proximity, the physical location, those are all ranking factors. Okay, now that we went over this, you might say, well, 6 Marketing, for example, TM Blast outranks them. 5 Towers Media, same thing. TM Blast outranks them. These are places, again, in this 5 mile radius, 169 data points. TM Blast is doing better. Okay, so why is TM Blast potentially doing better than the competition? Even though I'm in Boston Spa, they're in Saratoga Springs. So one of the first things that I always focus on is actually what the AI mode talks about with my business. So what I did was I actually clicked on AI mode over here within Google. I'm going to show you this. Quick results from the web. Obviously, your website is a big ranking factor when it comes into local SEO, but third-party sites are actually incredibly important, but they got to be topically relevant. So I'm on saratoga.org. I'm on also, I think, Albany and Glens Falls. These are important because they help solidify my business name, my address, my phone number, my hours, my services I provide. Google pulls all that information in. It's why a lot of times when I work with local SEO clients and we, potentially find, again, I'll use the example of Baltimore. If we find like a local Baltimore directory, it's always like, what's the value if I pay $500 for the annual cost? It's very difficult to, back into that. But the opportunity is that if it can help strengthen your local SEO presence, it actually more than make up for that. So it's a lot harder to do the one-for-one comparison of I got on this directory, how many leads did it bring in? It's more about did it help our overall organic strategies? It's a lot more difficult to tie into, but that's why ultimately I think I'm doing better than the competition. Now, another thing is authentic photos. I talk about this a lot. I work with a lot of different clients, and I've noticed that AI or stock photos are prevalent. And I always mention that having authentic photos of your business can actually outrank your competition because it's the engagement factor. So if you're looking at, maybe you're a plumbing company and you're saying, what can we do potentially, or why is our competitor outranking us? Look at their photos. If they're photos of the actual vans that they drive, the technicians working at the location, these are all things maybe you want to consider and say, okay, we should, also add some authentic photos as well. Try to show as much realness as we can. That can help maybe outrank us or outrank the competition there. Again, look at the AI mode. See the sources that are being pulled. So these are all TM Blast over here. But then I also have Design Rush. That's being brought in directly. That's another third-party site. If I go into the Show All section over here, you can see, again, Saratoga.com. I have a LinkedIn page. I have a YouTube page. These are all strong signals. What I like to do is I use ChatGPT and Microsoft Copilot, and I actually compare myself against some of the top competitors for TM Blast, but also for my clients, do the same gap analysis and say, are they on third-party sites that we are not? If they are, we need to get on them. So basically, the backlink profile is a strong signal, but less about domain authority, more about topical relevancy. You can also do other follow-up questions as well, which is really important. Last but not least, let me just actually go right to the website because I think this is one of the more overlooked parts. So let me go to it over here. I think having your header at the very top, the H1, I say New York SEO expert, Saratoga Springs. And I mentioned SEO, PPC, and Geo SEO services. I think that's a really important tagline. It conveys exactly what I provide to my clients. That is one of the things that I always recommend. The last thing is, let me go back into this. I'm going to actually type in this. What are the reviews for TM Blast? So this is actually something I've been playing around with my clients, but trustindex.io comes up a lot. It's a third-party site that pulls in my Google reviews. It also could do other things like Facebook and Yelp and TripAdvisor if I had that. But for my clients, I'm always seeing that as an opportunity. It's a third-party site. Again, I talked about the importance of that. Get on there, get reviews from Google or Yelp or Facebook or anything else. You can put that directly into trustindex.io, and it comes up all the time. So you can see that the AI mode is recommending TM Blast, but it also has, again, more engagement ways where people can interact with my business compared to some of my competitors, maybe who don't have as many reviews or not showcasing all the reviews in one place. So I think reviews are important. I'll go back though into the Local Falcon report just to kind of summarize this. So Saratoga Digital Marketing outranks me. They're at almost a 90%. I have 169 dots. I'm at 76%. They're outranking me because they're directly in downtown Saratoga as their physical address, and they have the name Saratoga Digital Marketing directly in their name. Obviously, that's a net win for them. But when you look at TM Blast over here, I'm now outranking all the other competitors. And you can actually see here's all the competitors that are going after this particular area. If I scroll down, so 6 Marketing, this is how their map changes, 5 Towers Media, and so on and so on. I talked about this. The physical location is important. The reviews are important. The authentic photos are important. The third-party sites that mention your brand are important. These are all different ways to really outrank your competitors. So if you're looking at your business, you're saying, how are we losing our share against some of our competitors? Maybe this video might have sparked some ideas what you guys can do for your business. Anyway, thanks for watching this video and stay tuned for the next one.